What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, Sue?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
The American Battle Monuments Commission exists to honor the service of American military personnel during the two wars. Traditionally, we maintain the venue, but now, as we look forward into the future, we see that we've got an added responsibility to tell the story of what happened to a new generation and to make that relevant to them. When we first created these sites, the focus was simply maintaining the venue for the Gold Star mothers. You really didn't need to tell them the story. They'd lived through it. They'd had a very personal connection with it. So our focus was maintaining the cemetery for them to come and grieve. Now, 75 years later, those ladies are long gone. And most of the people alive today have no memory of the war and have no interaction with anyone who does. So our role becomes to tell the story in a manner that's relevant to them today. And the way the agency's chosen to do that is to use the vehicle of the powerful biographies we have to make that human connection between a new audience of young people and the stories of courage and sacrifice that this cemetery has so many of. As early as the spring of 1942, we had the Army Air Corps arriving in this area in great numbers, and we had operations rather early in 42 into Europe. We had casualties, and we obviously needed somewhere to bury our dead. Cambridge University gave us the 30-acre parcel of land here in the centre of Cambridge, and on the 7th of December 1943, which was a date chosen 2 years to the day after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, we buried for the first time here, and then we buried throughout the war. At the end of the war, this site was chosen as the permanent cemetery in the UK to house all those whose bodies were remaining from the conflict in the Second World War.
Okay, I want to go back a little bit. He made a mention about that the new folks now don't really have much of a memory to what happened, obviously, and it's their job to now paint the picture so they can have a memory of history, an understanding of history. So to me, it's given like it's a tourism location, a museum almost as well with the historical facts, but also a grave site as well. Woo, that's a lot in one.
Well, it looks more like a memorial.
A memorial?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about
a grave site.
Yeah, it looks more like
so that's
a memorial.
Not okay. So they kind of like just plant the crosses in and give like a historical fact about them, memory of. Okay, yeah.
So my great-grandmother's dad passed in Pearl Harbor.
True.
So, like, I remember that was one of the first things I learned about, you know, my family history. So that's touching that they created a memorial for this, you know. Yeah.
Do you remember, you was finished, baby?
Go ahead, baby.
No, do you remember when we went to Dallas and they gave us they showed us a memorial of the Twin Towers, all the people that had passed away during that time. It's kind of given, it's kind of given this in a sense, but they had it to where it was like on this huge wall, like it was walls all around the building with just names and names and names. And it kind of goes similar to this, and look at all the crosses, you guys, with all the names on it of people who have served and fought for the country, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah, but the fact that this is all the way in Great Britain, somewhere in Great Britain. Where's Cambridge?
Cambridge? American Cemetery?
Yeah, somewhere in UK. In the UK.
Yeah.
That is amazing. You know, I would have never thought. I would have never thought. Like, I knew the two countries had, you know, a special relationship. But
right.
I would have never thought.
So yeah, you guys ever visit this location, you definitely going to be educated to the T. And just from the things that they're highlighting as they showing these different slides, you can see how well put together they like with the map of all the airplanes flying over these locations, like all that stuff. Just like they really did a good job with that.
Yeah. So this is another place possible that we could visit.
To see what these men were thrown into at such a young age is humbling, and seeing how they responded to that. Some of the more powerful experiences for me have been hearing the stories of these young men who were thrown into absolutely appalling situations and responded with courage that really was humbling to hear about. One of the more powerful experiences I've had here in the last few months was a visit of a 95-year-old veteran who came back with his daughter on perhaps a last visit to Madingley. And his daughter gave this to him as his 95th birthday present. And he came here and he explained that the last time he'd come to Madingley was to bring a crew to be buried.
Oh, so
and he told me the
cemetery.
powerful story
just a
of
memorial.
his connection to that crew.
But
Now,
I
this
see why
man
you
had
say
been
that
a
though, because we have seen memorials set up like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That wasn't cemeteries.
Like Veterans Day, like we have it to where they put flags all over, just for representation. You know what I'm saying? It's like you would not go a block without seeing a flag, no matter where you at. So I understand what you was coming from.
Yeah, because not only my grandmother's dad being in the war, but her husband was in the war too, and he's not buried in a memorial.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Cemetery. He's buried in his own.
Yeah.
You know where he wanted to be.
A teenage gunner who'd been injured on a previous flight, so he was off air status. So he was not on flying duty, and while he was off flying duty, the Army Air Corps gave him driver assignments. And on one particular day, his job was to pick up a B-17 crew, take him to eat. They ate breakfast. They wanted to stop by the chapel on the way to the aircraft. And he said when they arrived at the aircraft, they all huddled. They put their arms around each other and they took a moment of silence together. And he said that was a powerful moment. And then they went off on their flight. I think it was a mission into a target into Germany. And they were damaged on the flight. They received some flak damage. And on landing, they crashed.
Wow.
And although they arrived back at the airfield, they crashed and they were all killed. And his last duty of that particular day was to pick the bodies up and drive them to Madingley American Cemetery. And that was the last time he was here. He came with his notebook with these 10 names that he jotted down 75 years ago, and came back to visit those men. And 9 of them had been repatriated, but the 10th was still here. And it was a powerful moment to be standing with him over the grave of that one remaining soldier and have him tell me the story of his personal connection. And it's experiences like that for me that are the most powerful as superintendent here.
Oh, that one gave me chills.
In particular in the UK, our role is to reinforce and advance what Churchill referred to as a special relationship between the British and the Americans. And certainly nothing speaks more powerfully of that special relationship than does the 10,000 souls that are commemorated here in Madingley.
Whew. That one gave me some chills.
Yeah.
I never knew that there was a whole cemetery for our soldiers. Do we have something like that here?
Pretty sure we do.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure
We
we
don't
do.
even know.
We don't, honestly, you guys. Yeah, this was definitely yeah, we are finding out things. This was definitely deep. This was definitely painted of a picture like in real time. I know a lot of people get uncomfortable when they get on that serious side of life because everybody want to kind of, you know, shy away from questions, shy away from answers, shy away from truth. But in reality, it kind of give you a seriousness as well to be, you know, awaken a little more of what type of lifestyles have been, you know, living around us for such a long periods of time, the things that people have to go through. You know what I'm saying? So it's like definitely put your boots on the ground with these type of conversations and really open your eyes to life, man, because it's a serious side to it. And people joke a lot, like us, we do joke a lot, but we also know when it's time to get serious as well. And I think this is a very deep, you know, conversation.
Yeah, so y'all let us know if you have any personal stories attached to this cemetery memorial. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.